Well, a very, very good morning to you, coming to you from the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, and such a lovely song that was put together by St. Dominic's Priory. This is the song that is going to be the theme song of United Nations World Water Day. So this is what they're going to be playing at the United Nations in New York later on today. So we get a nice preview of the song. So it was written by the kids at the school, and I'll tell you what, it's a powerful message talking to the water issues that not only here in Nelson Mandela Bay, certainly in the country and around the globe, has become a major, major issue, where water has become one of the scarcest resources, and so much needs to be done to rectify that situation. Well, we turn our spotlight onto the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, a municipality that is certainly struggling with desperate water shortages wherever you look. And I mean, when we talk about the dam levels, that's something that one has to really, really worry about, because in the 5 main water supply dams, the region is sitting at 14.73% water in all of those dams, and that is a great worry. It really is. You speak to the people living in the area, and they've had to basically reimagine their lives and try and figure out how they are going to live alongside this water shortage, because when you look at the skies and you look to rain, it just doesn't seem to have anything forecast. But Azri's going to be talking to us about that. But I want to talk a little bit more with my first guest about where we're broadcasting from, because this in itself is a very interesting story, and perhaps one of the solutions, a very small solution, albeit to the major problem here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. We're broadcasting from the Gqeberha water treatment works, and in this treatment works, they basically bring up borehole water, they purify it, and then it will then of course be sent off to different areas so that they can have this as drinking water. However, it's a drop in the ocean compared to the amount of water that is actually needed. But to talk to me a little bit more about it, I've got Joseph Tsatsire from the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. He's the Municipality Director for Water Distribution. Joseph, great to have you. Thanks very, very much for talking to us this morning.
Good morning, Leanne. Good morning to your viewers at home.
So, a little background of this development this is just one solution. Obviously, there's many other things that are trying to alleviate the situation for those that are living in this very water-stricken area right now. But talk to us about this water plant that we're at.
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you for the opportunity. And I think we are quite excited to be at this plant as we celebrate, the International Water Day. Obviously, I think we are trying to accelerate, solutions to the metro. This treatment plant, obviously, I think in 2010, after a major drought, we actually begin to explore, groundwater as an additional water mix, to our water grid. And I think we discovered, at the foothills of Coega that there was sufficient water to give, to the people of Metro. Then we actually discovered it was 10 million liters that we can actually harness, from the boreholes. We actually then discovered, it had, iron and manganese in. Then we actually decided to build this treatment plant. It is a 20 megaliter treatment plant, one of the biggest in the country. We will be actually treating here water to South African standards, and we will actually then distribute it to our residents. We are quite excited. It's one of our flagship projects, as you have said. It will actually contribute, to reduce the impact of drought going forward.
This is you're hoping to be fully operational by Friday. That's the hope. It's been a dream since 2012, and obviously lots to get through. But you're hoping by Friday this will be fully operational.
Yeah, definitely. We are now just commissioning and testing, some of the mechanical equipment here, and we are hoping that, by Friday at least, we begin to have a drop of water, into our reticulation grid.
I mean, I look at this water and it's quite fascinating. I hopefully we will get some visuals of it if we don't already have visuals of it on air. But when you look at the water, I mean, this one behind us here is literally black, and that's the manganese. And then, of course, down there, it's a much more rusty color, and that's the iron that's being drawn straight from the borehole into here. That's got to be purified so that by the time it gets to those that are consuming it, it's clear. But my question to you is, how many people is this going to service? I mean, how many people are going to benefit from something like this?
Obviously, I think, as I said, it's about 10 million liters of water on a day-to-day basis. And just to give you context, in terms of our consumption in the metro, we are about 1.3 million people, and on a day-to-day basis, we consume about 280 megaliters of water on a day-to-day basis. So this is 10 that's going to possibly, give to about 200,000 people in the metro. And I think we are quite excited. We are reducing the deficit between our production as well as what we actually consume in the metro.
And when we look at the consumption, because that is the big problem, it just seems that, all of the warnings to people out there to reduce their water consumption and to say that we are having a problem right now doesn't seem to be working, because it's still way over. The consumption is still way too high. What more can be done? What is being done to try and educate people when it comes to the awareness that, and I know you say day zero is never going to come. That's your stance. But perhaps it is going to come. Who knows? But there is a great worry that there's a massive water shortage here.
Leanne, you are right. There is a massive water shortage, and I think it's a lived reality that, we are living with intermittent supply and water disruption, on a day-to-day basis. Some other communities, obviously, they are going out of water for a day or two, because we actually have got a shortage in the system. But I think we continue to encourage consumers to reduce consumption, and I think as part of our campaign, we are saying at least we should use 50 liters per person per day. We have actually started, galvanizing our communication campaign, with the mayor, being the lead, to actually encourage, consumers to reduce consumption. But I think parallel to that as well, there are other interventions, that we are pursuing to reduce what I call artificial consumption. These are leaks, and I think the metro has actually increased its resources to deal with leaks. We are looking at a turnaround time of 2 to 5 days for any leak that is reported in the system, because we appreciate and understand that, if a leak actually goes on and attended for days, it's actually water that we are losing, which we actually require, in our reticulation grid.
It's a major problem. Why do you say there won't be a day zero? You're one of the few that are saying it. So many people are talking to this day zero, but you are of the opinion it's never going to come.
Look, our understanding is that, obviously the metro has got different sources. We have got sources to the western side of the city that are actually, suffering drought as we speak. As mentioned, the dam levels being 12.7%. But we also have got other sources from the Gqeberha system, Free State, Orange River system. If we can track that water, it comes away from the Lesotho Highlands. We are actually, getting that into the city, and 2/3 of our water that we are consuming currently, around 210 megaliters of water on a day-to-day basis, is coming from that scheme. So we are saying the city itself will never have day zero, because we still gonna have 210 megaliters of water that is available to us, because there is no drought we are experiencing on the sort of eastern side of the city. And that water we're going to actually have to actually distribute to each and everyone, even if it means it's going to be intermittent or disruptions in between. But at least, the people are going to continue to have basic water as well as water for economic consumption.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks very, very much for your time. That's, of course, Joseph Tatsire. He's the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality Director for Water Distribution. There'll be lots more from here in the next hour on the program. But right now, let's take a break, and SK has something for us in the Auckland Park studio.